guys, welcome back to Stampaholics Anonymous. 4 of my nails are painted. That means we are going to look at swatches of stuff, and today we are going to look at the next batch of the P.O.P polishes that I got. This time we're going to be looking at yellow to red. I was surprised that there's not so many reds in here like I would have been expecting for some reason. Maybe like red holos aren't easy to do or something. Alright, so there's not as many reds in here as I would have thought for some reason. I don't know why I was thinking, but anyway, so we are looking at 2 yellows, there's 3 oranges, and then there's like 2 reds. You could call them red, you could call them coppery or orange still, or even brown if you really wanted to. Anyway, we're gonna look at these. Like I did last time, I'm gonna put the collection name in the description box, and then when I'm through with all of these, I'm gonna like cut and edit a video to show you each collection on their own, so you know that. Maybe I'm just gonna do one video where you see swatch pictures so that you can look at each collection, because this is like the second time around that I'm swatching these, and formula wise these are all equal. They're all the same pretty much. Nothing, you know, out of the ordinary happened so far, and that's like 14 out of 36, so I have high hopes that the formulas are consistent across all of her holos. Anyway, so first up we've got this really light, delicate yellow. You could even call it like a delicate green if you look at it in the bottle, but on the nail I thought it was like really yellow, so I'm calling it a yellow. This one is called Go Fly a Kite. Next up we have a more yellow. This is like more neon yellow almost. It also comes across a bit green, I think, in the bottle, but it is really a true like neon yellow on the nail. And this one is called Don't Bend Over Around the Probe. Maybe from that space station planetary something collection we've seen before. Next up we have a very interesting shade which is called Hayride. I like that, and it's like a grayed out orange almost, or a light brown. I wasn't too sure, but I think it has like a lot of red in it, so I called it an orange. Like I said, it's called Hayride, a very interesting shade, almost like pastel-y. Very nice in the combination with the linear holo. Then we have a true orange which is called Who You Calling a Dwarf Planet. Funny. Again, that like space station or planetary collection. Really nice, you know, mid-tone orange, but it has more red than it does have yellow in it. And then next up we have a polish that is very aptly named Pumpkin Patch, because it's like a pumpkin, a true pumpkin orange. And I think the camera is doing it justice and capturing it just right. Really cool polish, love this color. And then next up we have the 2 reds that I call red, because I mean they might be brown, but then I looked at the name of this one and it's called Apple Picking, so I think that this is supposed to be a shade of red that resembles like a red apple. On the apple. Very interesting shade. I've mentioned that before. In the bottles with all of that silver linear holo pigment in there, it's really hard to tell the colors. It's really hard. So they might not come across in the bottles as they are showing up on the nails. So it's good that we're doing live swatches and you're going to see plenty of swatch pictures. Then next up last up we have Poinsetta. And this is like a deep wine red, I would call it, with some coppery shimmer running through it. I know that she has a bunch of holos that have shimmer in there, and I'm pretty sure that this is one. Here in the bottle you can kind of see that there's, you know, the linear holo of course, but there's also some metallic shimmer going on in this one, so a very interesting combo. So let's look at the live swatches.
Alright, let's get to swatching. First up is Go Fly a Kite. I am not going to talk too much about these polishes because the formula is like pretty consistent across the board. I've mentioned it before and I don't want to bore you with details on the formula because it is pretty much the same formula across the board. This one was the lightest shade that I tried, and it didn't get 100% opaque even at 3 coats, but I still like the delicate nature of this color. You can see that the first coat is really sheer, and as we get into the second coat it's still really sheer, but nevertheless I did enjoy it. But you might want to put this over like a colored base maybe, that also saves you some product, and then you only have to do like 2 coats to get its full effect. It's a really subtle yellow. I liked it. Top coat is going to be top coat swatch picture is going to be without a top coat and 3 coats of this. Let's move on to something that has more of a punch. This is Don't Bend Over Around the Probe. Never do that. This is more of a neon yellow linear holo. It is still pretty sheer on the first coat. I am going to do 3 coats for this one as well, and it still didn't get like 100% opaque, but I really enjoyed that, really bright yellow that it, ended up looking on my nails. The swatch picture will be 3 coats, but no top coat. Okay, moving on to the little oddball in this collection of oranges and yellows and reds, because this is Hayride, and I'm still not sure whether this is meant to be an orange or like a light brown, but I enjoyed this one quite a bit, and I'm also just gonna do 2 coats, because at 2 coats it reached full opacity and looked really nice on the nails. Yeah, it's a pretty color, even though it's so odd and so different, but I really like this consistent formula. Like I said, all the linear holos that I've tried so far have had the same awesome formula, no complaints here. They just differ in, the level of opacity that they get to and the number of coats you're going to need to reach that level of opacity. This one only took me 2 coats, so swatch picture will be 2 coats, but no top coat. Moving along to something that is truly orange. This is called Who You Calling a Dwarf Planet. I really like this name. I really enjoy the funny names that she comes up with. So, same good formula. I also only did 2 coats for this one to have it reach full opacity. I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, and so the swatch picture will be just 2 coats, but no top coat. Yeah, same awesome formula. No running, no pooling, no dripping. Yeah, there is that long stem issue. I'm not even going to talk about it because you know that by now, that the stem of P.O.P Polish is really long, and then sometimes you got to be careful of, you know, polish dripping down the stem and not getting it on your nail. Okay, moving on to Pumpkin Patch. This is a very interesting shade. It is a true pumpkin orange in my, you know, and how I see it and how I like it. I am going to be doing 3 coats of this, and this one dried down really, really matte. Not like dull, like linear holos tend to do. I think that's the, you know, the silver linear pigment that is in there that makes them kind of dull and not shiny on their own. But this one dried down almost completely matte. You can see it there on my pinky already where it has dried down. That was so weird. So I did end up putting top coat over the swatch picture, which I seldom do. But I really enjoyed this shade of orange. Yeah, and 3 coats. It was so delicious, and it looked like a hollow pumpkin. And who wouldn't want to have a hollow pumpkin for Halloween? Who wouldn't want to? I do want one. I want one out of, you know, on my front porch, which I don't have. But anyway, so swatch picture is going to be 3 coats, like I said, but with added top coat. So we're back from the pumpkin patch, and we are going to pick some apples with apple picking. This is a very nice shade of red, like a deep shade of red. I wouldn't call it like a wine or a red wine shade, like a Bordeaux shade, but it's a really deep shade for being a red. So I was hesitant to put it into this bunch, but you know, I didn't know where else to put it. So I did end up using 3 coats of this one to build it up, but it's totally worth it because the final color is like so nice on your nails. The swatch picture will be, like I said, 3 coats, but this time no top coat. Alrighty, moving on to the last color in this bunch. This is Poinsetta, and this one has, again, some metallic shimmer in it, and I just really like that concept. It also only took me 2 coats to build this one up to full opacity. You can see that it almost reaches opacity there, like on the first coat on my ring finger. Yeah, and I really enjoy this combo of holo and metallic. It's really nice. I like that metallic shimmer. Really good. So, but this one also dried down pretty dull and pretty matte. So I did end up putting a glossy taco on top for the swatch pictures. So the picture you are going to see is 2 coats with top coat.
Alright, you guys, that were my quick live swatches of the oranges and yellows and reds from P.O.P Polish. Like always, I have grouped them into 2 groups. The ones with the green dot on the cap are the ones that are my favorites, and then the 3 other ones are still very good polishes. I'm not hating on them, not at all, but these just, you know, stood out to me more. And first up is that like really intense yellow, almost greenish yellow, which is called Don't Bend Over Around the Probe. I really like the look of this one on the nail, even though it's a yellow and it doesn't get like 100% opaque on your nail. So you could potentially put it over like a good yellow cream if you wanted to, you know, if you wanted it to stand out just a tad bit more. And also having to do less coats of this, you could also put it like over a neon yellow. I think that would look great. Loving this one. And then with the oranges, I really had a hard time. I was swatching this orange and I was like, yeah, that's my favorite orange. I love this so much. And then I got into pumpkin patch and then I'm like, no, this is my favorite orange. This right here. It's a true pumpkin orange. I love this shade. And this one was like really interesting because it dried down really matte. Like almost completely matte. So this one, I actually did have to put top coat over on the swatch picture. That was weird, because all of the other ones were like, you know, by the point I get to, you know, taking the picture in my softbox, they were still kind of shiny. All linear holos tend to dry a tad bit like dull, not matte, but dull. So you always want top coat on them, but I do these like so quickly and take the pictures right after, so I don't bother putting top coat on. But with this one and with Poinsetta, which is still on my nails, I actually did put top coat on for the swatch pictures because these dried down really matte. So Poinsetta is my other favorite. I just love this like red with the metallic and the holo in it. I think that's a cool idea and a cool concept for a polish, even though metallic is not my favorite finish, but with the holo together, I like it. I would probably put down like a rich filler base coat if I were to wear this as a mani, because you can see the ridges, but I don't mind it too much. I love this shade. Really cool. And then surprisingly, I did enjoy Hayride quite a bit. I'm still not sure if this is meant to be like an orange, but I mean the color of hay is a deep yellow, you could call it, like a muddy yellow maybe, or in a light orange. This one is definitely it's grayed out. It's weird, but I still like it a lot. It could have been in the brown section, but oh well. I got a lot of browns and stuff to show you, so I threw it in here. I'm glad that I did because I got to experience this one, and I really like that, I don't know, odd kind of pretty ugly color. I like this one a lot. Not to say that I did not like the other ones. I totally enjoy all of these, and I think they all have, you know, a different point in time where I will use them, either like in a nail art or, you know, for swatches or whatever. So glad that I have these. Yeah, let me know your thoughts about these in the comments below. If you're an orange lover, this might be really interesting for you. I'm talking to you, Ilse. And also a yellow polish lover. I know it's hard to find good yellows. So just let me know what your favorites were in the comments below. Also, don't forget to take part in the 500 subscribers giveaway if you haven't done that already. It's still going on. Yeah, and that's it for today, you guys. I love you very much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!